Thank you, Dawn Wolfson of the Advocates of the Falsely Accused, for inviting me to speak today and for organizing today's event. Thank you, everyone, all advocates for the falsely accused, for helping raise awareness of the injustices that occur in the legal system and the loss of the presumption of innocence. I have a law firm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I founded the Law Center YouTube channel. It's also a website, thelawcenter.net. It's online, free resources for self-represented litigants in family court. To help people further, I took a year off from work and built something called the Family Court Custody Boot Camp, which is a premium version of everything that I put up for free. I am also the executive manager of the International Council for Men and Boys. We raise awareness of 12 areas of male disadvantage, one of which, of course, is item number 4, false allegations. In my work for ICMB, I had the opportunity to produce several trainings on how to use generative AI for advocacy. I strongly recommend you watch those if you don't use generative AI in your own nonprofit or own advocacy. And of course, that is the subject of this presentation, a revolutionary custom chat. What if I told you that the most revolutionary legal breakthrough in decades, something more powerful than any single attorney, investigator, or consultant, was already here? What if I told you that the same kind of expert strategy Johnny Depp paid millions for is now available to you for free? Let's get real. Johnny Depp had hundreds of millions. He could hire an army of legal warriors, expert witnesses, strategists, and consultants. And he did. And he won. Because when you can afford people like the best experts, Dean Tong, for instance, full-time, justice is possible. But what about you? What about the single parent, the worker, the teacher, the nurse, the mechanic, the veterans, people who want to put food on the table, support their kids, their families, maybe save for college, or just not go broke trying to defend their own name, their own children, and their own freedom? Until now, the deck has been stacked for the wealthy. But today, right now, everything changes. For the first time in the history of American law and the entire world, yes, I said the first time in history, you have a shot at preparing like a pro without paying like one. I present to you False Allegations Support and Strategy, a forensic-level legal support chatbot. It's trained on the insights of Dean Tong, one of the nation's leading experts in false abuse allegations, and powered by artificial intelligence, generative AI, which never sleeps, never judges, and never stops working for you. Before we dive into what this chatbot can do, you need to understand who made this possible and why his story matters. Watch this about Dean Tong.
Dean Tong has a combined Master of Science degree in psychology and the law and has worked as a forensic expert for the past 25 years. He's dual certified. He's a trial consultant and expert in high conflict divorces. He's certified as a forensic consultant and child interviewer. He's got a Wikipedia page, and he's been awarded the Marquis Who's Who Lifetime Achievement Award in both 2018 and 2019.
I got involved in the mid-'80s, over 35 years ago, with a case involving my own daughter. And so I was arrested for allegedly molesting my kid, and that was dropped after a year, but the family court made him, err to the side of caution on the side of my child. I couldn't get to be a father, a parent. I wasn't even good enough for a supervised visitation for quite some time. And then when I got supervised visitation, I could only see my kids for about 7 hours on a Sunday. I took 4 years just to get unsupervised visitation, and then I wasn't good enough for overnight visitation ever again until they emancipated, which of course was the late 90s, around the turn of the century. So I decided to make this a personal if you will, work within the system with professionals to make it better. I went on, of course, to publish books. I went on to get my master's. I paint a picture for parents and lawyers. Lawyers don't get this stuff in law school, but to provide them a roadmap for fighting back and understanding that you are presumed guilty. You do have to try to prove a negative to prove your innocence in a court of law. My first book was published exactly 30 years ago. The book takes the reader through the accused, the accuser, the Child Protective Agency, which of course in your state is called CYS, Children and Youth Services. It takes the reader through the court system, how to navigate the court systems. It's a nice handbook for the attorney who may not get this in law school, or who may get just a smattering of this in law school but doesn't have a lot of experience in this. I go into chapters on the false allegations of child abuse, false allegations of domestic violence. Then I get into parental alienation, which is chapter 16, and what's called borderline personality disorder. I help the pro se litigant on direct and cross and redirect and recross at hearing, at trial. What I consider a learned treatise, if you will, Elusive Innocence. Elusive Innocence, Survival Guide for the Falsely Accused was published exactly 20 years ago in 2002. It was reviewed by the Florida College of Law, Levin College of Law here at the University of Florida. It was also reviewed in the American Journal of Family Therapy in 2006. That book is used all the time, and oftentimes will be admitted into court as a learned treatise or a reference for judges. I would say there's more practical advice than academic advice, because I'm not an academic. I'm not tied to a university. I'm not a university professor. I'm not a PhD.
That's the power and passion behind this tool. Now, imagine everything you just saw, but available to you, anytime, anywhere. Here's how it works and why it's so different. When you open False Allegations, Support and Strategy, it meets you where you are. It starts with 4 simple questions. Who are you? Accused, advocate, or legal professional? 2, what kind of allegation are you facing? Criminal, Child Protective Services, child custody, a protective order? 3, how much legal experience do you have? 4, do you want plain, simple English, or are you ready for advanced, expert-level strategy? From there, it adapts. It helps you build an airtight timeline to anchor your defense, break down forensic interviews so you know what to challenge, draft motions or declarations with step-by-step support, prepare your testimony with emotional readiness in mind, create witness questions that expose inconsistencies, understand red flags like suggestibility, false memory, or confirmation bias. And it doesn't stop there. It'll even warn you if you're about to make a dangerous mistake, like talking to Child Protective Services without counsel. It gives you language to use, questions to ask, and ways to stay calm under fire. All of this is free to use, unless you count $20 a month for a ChatGPT subscription if you want to unlock the full power of this revolutionary tool. But that's it. It's not going to the chatbot, it goes to chat. So for less than dinner for 2, you get lunch for 2. You get what some people spend tens of thousands trying to assemble. This tool won't replace a lawyer, but it'll help you use your lawyer better. It won't replace Dean Tong, but it brings his wisdom to your fingertips 24/7. If you're feeling panicked, overwhelmed, or broken by the system, this tool won't just give you legal insight, it'll help you breathe again. It reminds you you're not crazy, you're not alone, and you're not powerless. If you've already been through the system, and now you advocate for others, this is the tool you wish existed back then. It didn't, but now it does. And it's free, but it's priceless. Because this doesn't generate income and has no ad budget or marketing, we rely on you. Share it. Post it. Send it to everyone everywhere, every support group, newsletter, email list, and social media feed you can. Treat it like people's lives depend upon it, because they do. This assistant is a lifeline to the falsely accused, to the father, mother, neighbor, teacher, to anyone being crushed by a system they never asked to enter. This tool exists because Dean Tong donated his life's work. He gave this to us, to you, to the world. You can thank him at deantong@aol.com. And don't just take my word for it. Test it. Try it. And when it helps you, when it stuns you how great it is, send him a thank you note. This isn't the future of justice. It's the present. It's here, and it's in your hands. False allegations, support, and strategy. Don't fight blind. Don't fight alone. Fight smart, fight prepared, and fight to win.